Hey, RetconRaider here. Today's video is dedicated to the Raiders, the fine folks who help make videos like this one possible. With special thanks to Anerdinwarpaint, Matthew Holmquist, Nathan Welch Jr., and Valinrook. Thanks for your support, guys. That said, let's get started. And welcome back to Wasteland 3, as we take some time off from the existential nightmare that is post-apocalyptic Colorado to do some light shopping. Should be fun. Now, as usual, we do have some bookkeeping to take care of, so let's run through that real quick. Starting with The Coming Storm. I have to say, I was not terribly impressed with it last episode. Though, to be fair, it is just Tier 2, and at this point we should really be pushing Tier 3 or 4 at least. Still, I did feel like I was basically just wasting ammo with it. So I think we're going to do something a bit unorthodox here. And swap it out in favor of the army flamethrower that we had previously equipped. It might sound a bit redundant, but although they are both big guns and they are both throwers, they both use separate ammo types, and one will allow us to freeze opponents, while the other will allow us to engulf them in flames. In essence, it basically transforms Retcon into a dedicated controller. I can certainly work with that. Next up, we have Longway, and with him we're going to keep things simple. We're just going to bump Animal Whisperer and Nerd stuff. As we saw with that last random encounter, we are starting to fall a bit behind the curve, so hopefully this should keep him viable for a little while longer. Then we've got Bonkers, and with him, I think we're just going to bump up his persuasion skill a little. Thanks to the gear we've been finding, he's actually doing just fine on Intimidate, so I just thought we'd try to balance things out a little. Aside from that, he's also got a couple of floating attribute points, and we'll just dump those straight into Coordination. We are going to need to start boosting his strength and speed soon to keep him viable, but for now, we'll just focus on those action points. And finally, that brings us to Jody. She also has a floating attribute point, so we will dump that into Charisma, both for the enhanced XP gain, as well as the faster strike rate, which has been pretty invaluable so far. She has a couple of skill points to play with, and since we just boosted Longway's Animal Whisperer, we can boost hers as well. That'll make that Vorpal Rabbit slightly stronger. That just leaves us with her floating perk point. And honestly, given the number of support skills she has a lot of decent choices here. But in this case, I think we're going to focus on shoring up her offensive capabilities, and we're going to go ahead and grab Masterful Precision, just like we did with Doll. Oh, and one last thing. We are going to go ahead and enable the appearance on that hard case helmet. I like the idea of the clown in a mask, but I just don't like this revised face mask that they've stuck us with. I might see if I can find something a bit more suitable next time we're back in Ranger HQ. Okay, I think that's it. Let's hit them all. The Bazaar. A pre-war mall and once the headquarters of the savage monster army. Now an indoor market and regional trading hub.
Please, I assure you, your bazaar shopping experience is completely safe.
You may have folks fooled, Ananda, but not me. I know something is fishy here, and I'm leaving.
Shame. Ah, over here, friends. Welcome.
Interesting. Before you stands a man dressed in an impeccably clean, well-maintained suit. He bows with a flourish as you approach, and without pause, starts rattling off a practiced spiel.
Salutations and assorted felicitations. Welcome to the bazaar, the marketplace of the unusual. I've not seen you here before. Know this, the bazaar can be found underneath our feet, buried by layers of snow. Access is restricted to the lucky few who possess an entrance pass. You can purchase an entrance pass at the door from our esteemed hosts, the Monster Army. Or, if you lack the funds, simply find an established merchant to vouch for you.
Sorry, the bazaar is where?
Underneath our very feet. Like most buildings hereabouts, the bazaar is buried by deep snow. But unlike most, it has been excavated and held safe to allow the free trade of all kinds of goods and riches inside. Up the ramp, you'll find the door to the bazaar, covered by a vehicle. My name is AdriRaven, Manorite missionary, merchant, and your humble servant. I was assigned to answer any questions you may have. Felicitations.
Gosh, I can't imagine why they would want to stick the Manorite outside. Can we speak more about getting into the bazaar?
It is simple. To get inside, you need an entrance pass. You can purchase one at the door, or find an established bazaar merchant to vouch for you.
Who could vouch for us?
Any bazaar merchant. Of course, they are usually found inside the bazaar, not out here. In the encampment behind me, you could find some hopefuls looking to get in. Perhaps if you can aid them, they can aid you.
Could you vouch for us?
Would that I could, but we are limited in how often we can vouch for outsiders.
In theory, could we use someone else's pass?
In theory, yes. But those of us who have a pass tend to safeguard it with our lives, so it is highly unlikely you would get to use another person's pass. I have heard of people giving their entrance passes to family members. Perhaps you have a rich uncle. Occasionally people disappear in the nearby ruins, and strangers acquire their pass. I'm sure I don't need to say this behavior is most untrustworthy and impolite.
It almost seems like a throwaway line, but I bet if we did go back to Colorado Springs and talk to Gabriel Reyes, he would be willing to lend his pass to Lucia. But that's a bit boring, so we'll just stay focused on the whole explore the ruins angle. Unless that doesn't end up working out for some reason. We'd like to talk about something else.
I can only hope I will have the answers you seek.
We're looking for the people who have been smuggling refugees into Colorado Springs. Do you know where they are?
It is common wisdom to keep one's mouth shut when one lacks courteous things to say. Truly, I find the very idea of smuggling people revolting. With that said, if I were a less discreet person, I'd suggest that you drive out to the old parking garage down the road to the north. Who knows? You may find your answers there.
Is that north on this map or north on the world map? You know what? Never mind. We'll figure it out. That is an impressive suit.
Ah, I thank you. It is a pleasure to meet people of taste, a true rarity in these uncivilized lands.
That's us, people with taste. You can tell by our outfits.
I endeavored to provide the teachings of Mr. Manners to those inside the bazaar. Alas, they seem to prefer that I spread the good word out here instead. A folly, I think. But who am I to question our gracious hosts?
You know, we could use a tailor back at our headquarters. I don't suppose we could convince you to join us.
You do seem like people of refined taste, without a doubt. But a man of class does not abandon his employer at an inopportune moment. I don't wish to speak out of turn, but this is a dangerous time for the bazaar. Friends, go inside, speak to Mr. Jacob Martin, or as others call him, Flab. When the bazaar is safe again, my conscience will be clear, and I will be most pleased to join you.
Fair enough. Alas, we find ourselves without a suit in these uncultured lands. Perhaps you could aid us?
Ha! Such a polite sentiment. Thankfully, Mr. Manners teaches us to always have a spare suit. I could not leave a fellow civilized soul in dire need. Here, take my spare. I shall fashion myself another.
Neat. Thanks. I was kind of expecting something a bit more practical, but, yeah, we'll take it. Oh, we do have some more questions, if you don't mind.
Then I will endeavor to supply more answers.
You said you're a Manorite. Aren't most Manorites settled out west?
Ah, true cosmopolites, I see. Indeed, a Manorite is one of the rare few fortunate enough to operate under the auspice of Mr. Manners, proponent of good behavior in these ugly times. Most of us reside in Angel Oracle, but I chose to travel and spread the word. We Manorites believe that poise is only second to godliness. To live is to comport oneself with exquisite grace. If you're curious, I'd be more than happy to supply a copy of our holiest scripture, the Book of Nauseatingly Correct Manners.
You know what? That sounds great. Can we have a copy of that book you mentioned?
May it help you as much as it did me, and find your path to a life of civility.
With a flourish, he presents you with a copy of the Book of Nauseatingly Correct Manners, a thick volume of impeccable penmanship, extensive footnotes, and recipes on how best to serve the uncouth. Lovely. Can you tell us anything else about this area?
Of course. Our immediate environs are a safe area, protected by the monster army. Wander outside these confines, and safety is not guaranteed. I can't tell you more, as I've never ventured out there myself.
So, who is the Monster Army?
They are the organization in charge of the bazaar. I've heard tales that once they were truly a monstrous gang, spreading fear all throughout Colorado. I'm happy to tell you that their current incarnation is much more sophisticated and civilized, though they have a ways to go. They are led by Mr. Jacob Martin, colloquially known as Flab the Inhaler, a man who has truly embraced his position and leads this place with panache. I do wish he had a better tailor, though. You can find him inside the bazaar proper, as he rarely ventures outside.
Gotta say, as far as eccentric, post-apocalyptic gangs go, this one doesn't sound that bad. Not yet, anyway. Oh, one more thing.
I can only hope I will have the answers you seek.
Have anything for sale?
Naturally, I have a variety of goods for sale that could suit your needs. But let's not barter out here in the cold. Join me in the warmth and security of our encampment. This way, friends.
Sure, why not? Sounds like we're gonna have to do some legwork to get inside the bazaar anyway. We'll take that.
If civilization collapses, all of Colorado Springs will look like this.
I don't know. This actually doesn't look that bad to me, by post-apocalyptic standards. Quotes on manners. Select readings from the Book of Nauseatingly Correct Manners.
The Book of Nauseatingly Correct Manners, Chapter 1, on the proper use of etiquette. It is a common misconception that etiquette exists as a means of affirming one's social status at the expense of the uninitiated. That is, it serves as a barrier to keep the uncivilized apart from their betters. Of course, nothing could be further from the truth. Etiquette and proper manners are the glue that binds civilized society together, and it is the duty of civilized persons to educate the less fortunate for the betterment of all. Proper etiquette, gentle reader, is the balm that soothes the savage beast.
I'm not sure it actually works out that way, but I admire your commitment to the bit. That does remind me, though. Let's have a peek at that book he gave us. Huh. I guess it's not actually a lore book. There we go. A book given to you by Anerdinwarpaint. It serves as the basis for the Mannerite way of life. I was really expecting something we could actually interact with in some way. It does seem to be an unmarked quest object, though, so it might have some hidden use in a puzzle or unmarked quest. We'll have to keep an eye out.
Wish we could bring these poor folks to Arizona.
I don't know. I hear things are pretty bad out there.
Felicitations.
Okay, let's see what you've got.
But of course.
That is an interesting mix. Ooh, grooming brush. Skill boosting trinket. +1 to Animal Whisperer. We'll definitely take that. And a monocle. I say, distinguished eyewear for a distinguished ranger. +1 barter and +2 perception. I want to say that Gabriel offered us a monocle as a reward for the smuggler quest, but I have to imagine that's contingent on what ending we end up going for, and I'm still not 100% sure if we're going to pick one he's happy with. I mean, we're definitely buying that brush. So, yeah, let's go ahead and grab the monocle, too. That way, we can immediately enjoy some discounts. I mean, we're obviously buying things while we're here.
Felicitations. But of course.
Okay, so not the most dramatic discount, but it does add up. We'll also grab some injury kits while we're here. We are running a bit light. I guess we'll just take all of them. Okay, let's see what else we've got. Sleeping bags provide a space-efficient way for hopefuls to bide their time in the camp while they earn their way into the bazaar. What are you doing?
I promised my wife I'd buy her something nice in the bazaar, but how will I get in?
Not like that. Tall thinks your mime work is rudimentary at best.
Ah, new hopeful souls looking to enter the bazaar? Speak to the doorman, outside and up the ramp.
Wow. That is not the voice I expected to come out of that face. Can you help us get into the bazaar?
Me? No. Like I said before, go up the ramp outside this encampment and speak to the doorman. He can tell you everything you need to know. Or talk to Ananda, right over there.
Tell us about this area.
This encampment is for hopefuls, lambs looking to get into the bazaar, but not yet in possession of an entrance pass. The monster army keeps this place safe.
So, what's with the outfit?
This? You must not be from around here. This is the traditional garb of the Monster Army Mashers. It inspires fear throughout Colorado for decades. You really haven't heard of us?
What? No, I have heard plenty about you. The, mobsters, right? I gotta go.
Travel safely, little lambs.
That's weird. Don't call us that. The Great Gurn. That sounds promising.
You promised to buy me a new coat when we get inside, remember?
Sure, any color you want. We'll go to the leather shop first thing.
Aha! I see you have come from afar. Well, your travels are amply rewarded, for you have reached the one and only, the seer of fortunes and teller of truths, the Great Gurn!
Cool. Oh, wow. Really?
Yes, I know. Your ears can scarce believe what you're seeing. Ah, but it is indeed I, ready to tell your fortunes.
So, why aren't you inside the bazaar?
Flab is a cabron who wouldn't recognize talent if it bit him in the belly. He claims the monster army already has some kind of mechanical fortune teller. But how could a machine possibly match my intuition? My gift? My panache?
Cabron, huh? That is an interesting choice of words. Tell us about Flab.
Flab is the leader of the monster army and has been for many decades, growing fat and slothful all the while.
Interesting. All right, we'll bite. Tell us our fortune.
Wisely chosen! Those who do not prepare for the future are clowns.
Wow, you are not subtle.
To begin, you must think of your favorite color. Concentrate solely on the color. Let the color completely fill your mind. Estás ready?
Yeah, sure. Okay, ready?
I see An ocean of waves. Your color is blue.
Nope, it's purple. That's not the color.
Apologies. I was impatient. Now I see you're riding the waves toward the warmth of a red sun. It must be so. Red is the color you are thinking.
No, it's still purple. You're not very good at this, are you?
Of course. The story is not done. It's not blue waves you are riding, it's blue ice. And the red sun, it is not you that moves toward it. It's the red flames that fly towards you. But then there is peace, and you are surrounded by trees, many green trees. Green must be the color you were thinking of.
No, wrong again.
Relájate. It is not your fault. With time comes knowledge, and with knowledge comes clarity. I must know more before we can continue. Tell me, what is it that brought you to these lands?
Yeah, I don't think we're going to do that. I am like 90% certain you're a spy working for the Payasos. So, we'd rather not tell you.
Nothing can be hidden from Gurn's all-seeing gaze. But as you wish. My final question, what brought you to the bazaar?
You know, we're here to do some shopping.
Yes, fascinating. It's all coming together now. Listen carefully, for the fortune I tell you may very well save your lives and the lives of many. The mist resists. Gurn can't see much of your future, alas. But this I can tell you. Now I can clearly see you standing before a red balloon. The red balloon bursts without warning, and you stand covered in red blood. Beware! Beware! That is all I can see. Your path is hard, mamans. The fates have spoken to me. I must give you this key. May it be of no use.
So, what's this key for? The Great Gurn stares at a point in the distance, softly chanting in an unfamiliar language. He does not appear willing to answer your question. Great, this has been very enlightening. Goodbye.
Beware the red balloon!
Sure, we will certainly do that. I hear there's 99 of them.
Hi. Hey there. Hi. Yeah, I'm Paris. Trying to get into the bazaar to sell my dyes. Same as you, I imagine. The getting into the bazaar part, not the dyes. Unless you do dyes, which is totally cool by me if you do. Hi.
Hi there. I immediately like you. Do you know anything about the refugee situation?
Refugees? Don't know about that. I mean, everyone here looks like they're refugees. Have you seen us? It's cold here. Brr. Try Ananda. He's this really well-dressed guy. Comes out here a lot preaching waistcoats or something. He knows everybody.
That is absolutely correct. He preaches waistcoats. Well said. Hey, what are these people doing hanging around outside the bazaar?
Them? They're hoping someone would sell them an entrance pass or help them get inside. The bazaar's got this code, you see? Unless you're a big shot Flab can't do without, you're not allowed to come in. Anyhow,
Tell us about Flab.
Flab's, the leader of the bazaar. He's a big guy, which is why everyone calls him Flab, you know? It's kinda mean, but Flab doesn't seem to mind, so whatever, I guess. Yeah.
You know what? I actually admire that. People call you names to provoke a reaction. If you don't have a reaction, or don't care at all, it takes the fun away from calling you names. Sounds like Flab has some admirable self-control. How about you? What are you doing out here?
I'm trying to become a licensed merchant in the bazaar. The monster army says I gotta make a dye the exact color of blood, which is hard, because everyone's got an opinion, but no one can agree on the hue. Hey, you wouldn't happen to know anything about dyes, huh? It'd be just peaches if you could help. I could even pay you, a little at least. My dye table is right over there.
This is kind of a silly question, but what does the monster army want with blood-colored dye?
Decoration, I suppose? Or, I don't know, really. I didn't think to ask, to be honest.
Paris, you are too precious for this world. We will see what we can do.
So long!
All right, let's have a look. The table before you has been carefully prepared by Paris for mixing chemicals. Each container is marked with the chemical it contains, and there are various tools for decanting and mixing. Oh, you know what? I know exactly what we're supposed to do. In fact, we just glanced at it a second ago. Yeah, the Clown's Guide to Paints, Makeup, and Acid. The one that Irv accidentally bought back in Colorado Springs, thinking it was a book about clones, I guess. But we don't get much use out of weird science, so I think we'll just crank that up instead. You definitely mix the correct chemicals to create a beautiful crimson dye. This looks like it's exactly what Paris is looking for.
Hey, it's you again.
Hey, we did some work with your dye.
What did you do? Oh, days! This is perfect! Thank you, thank you! That means I get to be a bona fide bazaar merchant now. Right, Mr. Masher?
Yeah, that dye looks great. Welcome to the bazaar, Paris. I'll let the doorman know you're clear, and he'll give you a pass.
Thanks so much for your help. I know it's not much, but here's a little something. Oh, and that means I could vouch for someone now. Hey, if you're looking to get into the bazaar, just tell them that Paris Handler says you're okay. They will let you in just like that.
Wow, that was easier than I thought it would be.
So long!
Not much reason to go scrounging for a pass in the ruins, I guess. Oh, but we do still have to head up north to look for those smugglers. There's a lot of empty space there, so that must be where Ananda was referring to. Whoop, and that would be Polly. I have received multiple warnings about him. Do we even want to talk to him? Jeez. On the one hand, I do want another animal companion, but...
Really need to ask Piscatelli to look at my gun. Bugger keeps jamming.
Okay, let's do this. We'll go ahead and equip the animal brush we just bought and try to jam through this conversation as efficiently as possible. Hopefully, having a higher animal whisperer skill will help make things go a little smoother. I might need to do some creative editing, though, for the sake of monetization.
Howdy, strangers. Name's Six-Fingered Larry, Hunter. Though, it seems you find me plumb out of wares.
The parrot beside him squawks obnoxiously. He studiously ignores the bird. Why do they call you Six-Fingered Larry?
Who knows? I've only got 5 fingers on each hand, same as anyone else.
Six-Fingered Larry raises both hands, a roguish smile, crooked.
Maybe it's got something to do with the fact I'm good with my hands. I'm not the sort who'd kiss and tell, though.
Inappropriate? You know anything about a band of smugglers moving refugees through this area?
Only that they make more money than I do. Bastards. But to answer your question, nah, I'm an honest businessman. I don't waste my time with criminals. Why don't you try the Mannerite? Yeah, the one with the suit. He knows all about the local lowlife.
Huh. Hey, we were hoping we could ask you a few questions about the bazaar.
I'm no local, but ask me anything you want. I'll see if I can be useful.
Well, we already have a way in, but we might as well ask. We want to get into the bazaar. Could you vouch for us?
Me? Nah, I don't got the bona fides.
Fair enough. Who's in charge here?
That'd be Flab the Inhaler. He leads what's left of the monster army after the Patriarch gutted their ranks. As far as dictators go, he's actually not half bad.
I assume that's because if he was half bad, he would have been gutted. Anything you think we should know about this place?
The bazaar? It used to be something else. Now, it's just old and fat, wheezing through its last days. Easy pickings.
Huh. That is intriguing. It really does sound like the monster army might be on its way out. There are an awful lot of vultures circling. It's also interesting that this is the only one of the Eastern Plains gangs that really seems like it was defeated by the Patriarch. Hey, could we talk about something else real quick?
What's on your mind?
That is an interesting-looking parrot. Is it for sale?
Him? You don't want him. Barrett's got a bit of an attitude problem. Tried to peck his way through a kid's skull the other week. If you insist, though, you'll have to talk to Polly yourself, because I got no say in what he's going to do.
Sure, we would like to buy Polly. Can we talk to him?
All right. It's your funeral. Hey, Polly, you hear that, old buddy? These fine folks would like to adopt you. How's that sound?
Larry, my buddy, my pal. Come closer. I'll show you how it sounds to me.
As Larry leans in, Polly bites down hard on his nose.
Oh, shit! Damn it!
That's how it
Freaking
sounds to me, Larry. Sounds like some
freaking bullplop.
Wasting your time with this.
No.
Talk to Polly. Talk to Polly.
Okay. So, Polly, how are you doing?
How am I doing? How am I
Stop it.
doing? Great question.
Dipstick.
I'm doing great. How are you doing? You look like a
Moose. I got nothing. I don't know what to do with this.
Listen,
Poop.
cut brains, Someone has to stick around to make Larry's life miserable. That's my job. I love that job. You hear that, Larry?
No. Oh, geez. I'm gonna have to edit this so much. I was warned. I was warned. I have brought this on myself. You wouldn't want people to think you're Larry's property, would you? Join us and you'll be an equal partner. A ranger. And failing that, you could be Major Tom's lunch.
You're right.
A person of questionable tastes and hygiene?
Let's do this! It's not like Larry gives a
Wooden nickel?
about me anyway. No respect, I tell ya. Fine, let's go. Larry, are you hearing me? I'm leaving!
No. Stop that. Please, I can't take much more of this. This has to be almost over.
All right. He's yours if you pay the price. This sounds about fair, don't you think?
Dude, you should be paying me to take that thing. How can you put a price on such a handsome parrot?
Buttering me up like a Thanksgiving turkey won't work, Rangers! Won't work! Oh,
Curse your silver tongue.
it is working! Hey,
Buddy,
you charge my new friends. I leave another
very unpleasant.
surprise in your breakfast. You got it?
Buddy,
Holy shit, Polly. Calm down. All right. You know what? Since you seem to be getting along so well, you can have them. It's your funeral.
it is, isn't it? It really, really is. I'm really hoping that Polly will not be this vocal once he's actually on our squad. I can't do this on a regular basis.
Yes, finally free at last! Larry, yes!
Poor guy.
At last I can tell you with complete sincerity!
I am a very unpleasant individual.
You!
Oh, we're done. We made it through. All that for plus 10% to evasion. You know what? I'm going to say that was 60% worth it. Maybe 70. I mean, that is a welcome buff to Long Way. I will say, though, if that thing starts interjecting into our dialogue segments, I might have to kick it to the curb. Oh, boy.
Bugger keeps jamming.
Okay, we're past time, but I really need to go kill something. Now let's go have a peek at the ruins. Oh, red dot scope. The little dot says, make the bullets go here. Alright, nothing like a little loot to help you cope with the horrors that this world throws at you. Oh. That is a walking bomb. A moderate threat to our rangers, but a big threat to our pets. We're going to have to be very careful about how we approach this.
Bugger keeps jamming.
Alright, we're going to hold position here and wait for that thing to come back to us. Oh, yeah, see, there's more up there. We want to pick these things off one at a time, if possible. And now. Ah, shoot. We've got another one. Fingers crossed. Okay, solid hit. No instant kill. But I think we're okay. As long as the third one doesn't show up. Oh, come on. I guess she was just outside of its range. Jody, I'm gonna need you to move. Thank you. Hey, look at that. Level up for doll. One down, one to go. Yeah, it wasn't bad. When did this episode turn into a nightmare? Anyway, I think we've got some more ahead. We saw one moving perpendicular. Yep, we...
Senor Bubbles! Where you at, payaso? The pigs are getting hungry.
Went up top for a food run. Got a mamon who took a wrong turn, and I'm bringing him back now.
Órale! I'll get the cleavers ready.
DJ RIP is back! Are y'all listening? This one is for the newly in love. Hope your heart's not gonna bleed too much.
Time, so I can grab some pork buns.
Really? We're gonna cap this episode with a monster mash? Sure, why not?
That's the second one this month.
Lunchtime, so I can grab some pork buns.
Pinche tarado. Our boy sees all and knows all. He says the caravan's coming, so be ready.
Dracula and his son seems rockin'
Yeah, sorry, In Exile. I don't like that one. There are a lot of great covers in this game, and that, I think, is one of my least favorite. I do like running into a neutral Waste Wolf, though. I am almost tempted to swap that thing out for our Vorpal Bunny, but I feel like the Bunny's really earned a slot on the squad at this point. Someone has turned this inflatable gorilla into a frozen gargoyle, no doubt in hopes of scaring away unwanted guests. Interesting. I wonder if we can actually get behind that thing. Nope, doesn't look like that's an accessible area. But this building, however... Yeah, there's definitely stuff in there. But there are no obvious entrances or interactive objects, aside from the gorilla. Well, maybe we'll come back to that. Ah, the parking garage. Man-eater Mori. Dad said they had too many sons, so Mori ate the smaller ones. Plus 15 con. Nice. I mean, the doll is grotesque, but the bonus is nice.
Where the hell do you think you're going? This area is off limits to anyone not part of our organization, and you definitely don't look like anyone I know. I strongly suggest you egress to a rosier neighborhood. You copy?
Alright. We're the Rangers, and we're deputized by the Patriarch to go wherever the hell we want. Now cut the bullshit and identify yourself.
Fine. The name's Stenerud. In case the Patriarch hasn't noticed, there's hundreds of refugees who are desperate to get into his city. So desperate they'll pay me everything they have.
Classy.
Now I've got no particular quarrel with you, but I'm not stopping, and I'm not negotiating. So if you come any closer, this is a firefight. Stenerud out.
Wow. You know, I was not sure what I was going to do once we found the smugglers, but these guys have instantly removed any sympathy or understanding I might have had for their position. They are not altruists. They're basically profiteering off the misery and desperation of others. I think we're going to shoot them. We have run long, so I'm afraid we're going to have to hit the pause button. But this does seem like a pretty good stopping point. We'll hit the pause button for now, but we will pick up here next time as we deal with smugglers, Payasos, and potentially Polly. I get the impression it's going to be another combat-heavy episode. See you then. Oh, and remember, although I do love playing Wasteland 3, you can find out more about the game by visiting the official website, the official YouTube or Twitch channels, the official social media feeds, or the official store pages. As always, links are in the description.